What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is having a great late night so far. Just got out of work. Miami Hurricanes defeat the Pittsburgh Panthers 31-19. What better way to talk about this game than a live call-in show? Want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the game? Your thoughts, good things, some bad things. Overall, I am extremely satisfied. Extremely satisfied. We won the football game. Yes, it was ugly, but we need all the wins we can get as a program moving forward. Look at the teams that have lost today. Auburn, Tennessee, UNC is in a dogfight with Florida State. They were down by 24. 24 in the first half. They were down 31-7. I believe it's a 10-point game right now. So UNC was in a dogfight. You got to take every win. Pittsburgh, as a team, their defensive line is very good. That's not a bad defense. That's probably the best defensive line we will see moving forward in this season. Clemson had a very good defensive line as well. The other teams we play defensively are not going to be as talented as Clemson and Pittsburgh. They have a NFL safety in Paris Ford. They have NFL players on their defensive line. UCF lost tonight as well. Thank you for reminding me. So any win you can get, whether it's ugly, whether it's a blowout, you got to take it. Take it every time. It's a win. Move forward. Was it ugly tonight? Today? Yeah, it was pretty ugly at times. But hey, we won. So I want to hear from you guys. Going to open up the phone lines real quick. Let me get the number real quick. Want to hear from you guys. What were your thoughts about today's game? There are a lot to talk about. I know there's plenty to talk about. 919-647-4716. Call in and let's talk about the game, guys. We'll be doing a post-game show tomorrow, short video. This is more of the call-in show and then our show with Brad as well. 919-647-4716. Call in. Let's talk about the game. First thing off the bat, the offense, I felt like it was very repetitive at times, a lot of inside zone reads. There was a point in the game where De'Ara King would just throw passes to the sideline. Deep passes, wasn't even looking in the middle of the field. We need to implement more crossing routes, drag routes, short, quick passes. That's what moves our offense, not deep passes. I think going into the Pitt game, we were 7 out of 30 in 20-plus yards. That is horrendous. That is awful. We need to change our offensive game into quick, short passes. Welcome to the Scoop. Who am I speaking with?
What's going on, Paul? Anthony, man.
Anthony, what's up, man? How's it going? Any chance you can put your volume a little bit higher? I'm trying to work right on the audio.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's good.
So what's going on, Paul? The game today against Pitt. Man, wasn't liking the first half of the game, and yeah, look what we picked up, but man, it came with those 2 interceptions, a lot of rushing, a lot of plays, man, that Red was calling that was pretty obvious, running the ball a lot.
Absolutely.
I honestly think he lost trust, King throwing 2 interceptions, so the dog King throwing 2 interceptions probably wasn't trusting King at the moment.
Right.
Man, let's just run the ball. Let's just run the ball. So I'm tired of these receivers, man. I'm tired of Wiggins. I'm tired of Harley not making plays. I mean, Harley got caught that touchdown. But you got to put in these freshmen, man. These freshmen are hungry. They're motivated.
Absolutely.
They want to play and they want to win. When I saw Keyshawn Smith pick up that pass, I saw he was so excited. You can tell by the energy. He was so excited that one of his players would tell him, yo, you're lining up wrong. You have to line up here. And he was like, oh, yeah. He caught the ball, rolling 3 tackles right after that. Yeah, they caught him. But, man, that's what I'm talking about. We need those kind of receivers that are hungry and want to play.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree, man. And hopefully, we saw a lot more young players play today. Corey Flagg, Sam Brooks. We saw a little bit of Xavier Restrepo, Keyshawn Smith, Michael Redding. So we're seeing that a little bit more.
right for that kid.
Yes.
He came out the ball. He was making these plays and stopping the run on fourth down. Bro, I was looking, I'm like, man, these are freshman linebackers. These are freshman linebackers.
Exactly.
I'm not seeing that from McLeod or Jennings. And let me tell you something. I'm also going to say this. I am very disappointed in McLeod. You're a fifth-year senior. No, I'm sorry, it's fifth year. It's a fifth-year senior. You started every game with Shaq and Pittman your freshman year. You've been starting linebackers since your freshman year. You're supposed to be the kid captain and the leader of this defense. Even for the team. That's why you came back, to make sure you're the leader. I have not seen McLeod be the leader that I've been wanting to see.
Absolutely, man. He's come back for his fifth year. It's, it is what it is. We know what we're going to get from McLeod moving forward. I think the young guys are ready to go. I think we've seen that. Look, Bradley Jennings made a stupid penalty. Stupid personal foul. He shouldn't have been back in that game at all. At all.
And that's another thing. These players, man, they keep making undisciplined penalties. Like, hey, when are you guys going to learn that these penalties are costing you the game?
Exactly.
We're not making stupid penalties. We're not.
Exactly.
Look, we did it against Clemson. Look what happened. We did it against Clemson, and Clemson capitalized every single penalty we got. We cannot keep doing that moving forward. If we're going to make it back to the ACC championship, which we hope, and we can do it, it's possible. We have 7 more games to go, if I'm not mistaken. We have Virginia, NC State, which is looking pretty good, and then we got a bye. I am very nervous after that bye week, because right after the bye week, guess what? We have to go to Blacksburg, Virginia, and go against Virginia Tech.
Right.
And I can tell you right now, it's not going to be the game. And the last game of the season is UNC, which I'm actually looking at the game right now. Florida State's doing a pretty game. I turn off the game for a moment, so if they're all up by 10, Florida State might pull a shocker tonight.
No, they're still up by 10. They were up by 24, so we'll see. Hopefully they hold on to the lead because, UNC has a very easy schedule moving forward. I'm scared they're going to run the table and get in by default,
Yeah. The only game they have, they play Notre Dame. So that's probably the only maybe tough game they have, but Notre Dame looked very sloppy today.
Right.
It was 12-7 against a Louisville team that we beat pretty good. It's not even a good Louisville team this year. So I don't know what's going on there. The ACC right now is starting to shake up. Miami still has a chance to make it back to the ACC championship game and play Clemson. But man, we cannot make these mistakes. Manny Diaz needs to get together with these coaches in the program. Say, hey, if you guys want to go against Clemson in the ACC championship, you cannot make these mistakes. And we got to put in the guys that are hungry. Keep saying, I'm putting in the guys that want to win the game. What about these freshmen?
Absolutely.
Freshmen are hungry. They really want to win.
Absolutely.
What's going on?
No, I completely agree.
Paul, I thank you for the call in. I was at the game today. I was so happy I got the W. Shout out to you, man, on your channel. You're doing great things,
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I love what you're doing. I'm always keeping in contact with you and Brad, your calls, and always watch After Dark. I was at the game today. I was happy. We got the win. It was sloppy. It wasn't kind of the win I wanted.
Right.
But we got it. I hope we can move up in the rankings. And I just hope we can win every game, bro.
I appreciate it, Anthony. Thank you, man.
All right, Paul. Have a good night, brother.
All right, man. You too. Peace. Yeah. No, I mean, that's a great point, guys. When are we going to start playing, more freshmen? We saw Corey Flagg today. Did a very good job. Sam Brooks as well. Bradley Jennings, Zach McLeod, they're upperclassmen. They're making dumb mistakes. We saw that with Bradley Jennings. Personal foul on the quarterback. The quarterback is literally throwing the ball to the sidelines. Why are you even touching him? There is no excuse for that. But anyways, 919-647-4716. Call in. What's up with UM's running game? Receivers not getting any separation. I thought we moved the ball pretty well in the first half. The second half was completely flat. I thought Don Chaney was doing an excellent job in the first half. Cam Harris as well. But yeah, it did not get going at all. De'Ara King's running ability Today's game, there was one good run he had, but after that, that was basically it. Running the football for De'Aaron King. I mean, that was one of our strengths offensively, was running the football. That's how we opened up our offense. If you guys notice, our offense is very home run play. We tend to score in one home run play. If you notice that, it's a big play. Usually, it's just that one play offensively where we score a TD. I've noticed in the past few games, it's not like a developing drive, and it's hard to develop and have an offensive identity when you have that home run play every time. It's either a big run or a design pass. We were successful with Cam Harris and Will Mallory up the middle of the field. So I've noticed that about this offense. I would like to see them run a full, complete drive. I haven't seen that in quite a while. It's usually one big play after another. But that's just my opinion. 919-647-4716. Call in. Let's talk about the game. Thank you, everyone, for joining me late tonight. Let's do a live call-in show. Let's talk about the game. Want to hear everyone's perspective. We just beat the Pittsburgh Panthers. We covered the spread. It was 12 by ESPN. They lowered it. I know Kenny Pickett wasn't playing. A lot of people say if he was starting, Pittsburgh would tear us apart. We won the football game. We got the W. I don't think it's a bad win. I think it's a quality win, and we have to take W's, man. We have to. Every single win counts. Every single game, we have to treat it like our Super Bowl. That's just how it is right now. Moving forward, look, we got a lot to work on in pass coverage. I'll say that. There were a lot of receivers open throughout the game. Corey Couch did a very, very good job. Outstanding job in pass coverage. Another underclassman stepping up. I love what the future has to hold at Miami. I know it sounds like a broken record talking about the underclassmen, but hey, Corey Flagg, Sam Brooks, to Corey Couch, Isaiah Dunson with a huge stop on the fake punt as well. Gotta love the underclassmen stepping up. And of course, Andres Borregadas once again nailing field goals left and right, man. And Lou Hedley, I think he had a long of 60 in that game. He was averaging 50 yards a punt. Incredible job by Lou Hedley as well. Special teams, that has been a complete 180 at Miami. 919-647-4716. I want to hear your thoughts about our offensive line during this game. Hear your thoughts about De'Aaron King as well. What do you think? I mean, some say he's regressing. A lot of our receivers dropped a lot of passes. D. Wiggins that was a beautiful pass to D. Wiggins out on the left sideline. We got a call in, 334-797. Scoop, who am I speaking with?
This is Kyle.
Kyle, how you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, man. What were your thoughts about the game?
I think it was good overall. I'm very impressed. I know it was a rough day. We had a hangover because we got the week before, but you know what? We didn't drop another game.
Right. We won the football game, and we always drop games after we lose.
Right. The one thing I was getting kind of frustrated about is whenever we would let De'Aaron King loose on a quarterback draw, it was always when it's like third and long.
Right.
Why not do it? Why not do it on like the first or second play?
I completely agree. Third and long play call was horrendous, and it's been like that for quite a while throughout the season.
Yeah, it was
horrendous.
I feel like that would maybe not just put our running game in a better position, but maybe our receivers too, and maybe that might actually create running maybe some crossing routes if that's third and short. Right,
exactly. No, look, the play call today was awful. It was awful at times. It was very replicated. We did multiple inside zone reads. I think there was one drive. We were nearing the red zone for Pittsburgh, and we just ran 3 straight inside zone reads. And there was really no reason at all. And we settled for a field goal. And we were moving the football that drive.
Yeah, and at the very beginning of the game, we were doing some quick screen passes and everything. And first thing I thought was, where was that against Clemson?
Right.
Clemson started off actually not only started off, but
did that a lot during the game last week, where they gave us enough coverage where we could get about 5 or 6 yards.
Yep.
After a catch like that, and I started thinking, well, maybe that's what we're trying out. Sometimes today, I thought maybe we're trying out new things, which is why some things would work, and then we'd go back to the old things, which made us struggle a little bit. I mean, I don't know what it really could have been, but
right.
I mean, I know we didn't have Brevin Jordan, which wasn't a loss because we have another good tight end.
Exactly. Who we only targeted twice, and he had 2 touchdowns. Right. I would have loved to see him use more.
I want the offense to be just tight end first. That's what it starts to kind of look like. We start looking at tight end first before we go to the wide receivers.
Right.
Which I want to be able to run the ball too.
Yeah, we have not been able to move the football successfully the past 2 games.
No.
At the first half, we were successful.
Go ahead.
The first half, I thought we ran the football fairly well. The second half, not so much.
The whole day, I mean, everything looked kind of slow though.
Right. Absolutely.
Like even the defense was playing kind of slow. I don't really know what that was or whatever. But at the end of the day, hey, I'll take a win. I don't even care if it's by 1 point. I'll take a win because that in itself is progress.
Absolutely.
That shows that we're starting to mature. We're starting to move on from a loss. We're not getting down on anything. We know for a fact that it's not over.
Exactly.
So,
exactly. And Pittsburgh, they're not a bad football team. They have an NFL safety, Paris Ford. They have a good defensive line. That's not a bad D-line. One thing I noticed, I don't think Derek King can see over that big D-line. He's going to have to roll out a lot just to get a pass off.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one thing I saw too. If he comes back next year, that first game against Bama, for some reason, man, I mean, I think Bama's really taught the swat passes, dude. I mean, that defensive line. I mean, that people are going to start catching on when Derek King's not that far back in the pocket. They're going to start trying to swat his passes down with him being 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I think it's pretty evident Derek King needs to come back for an extra year. The NFL dream, it's not there. He's not an NFL quarterback. He is a college playmaking quarterback. That's what Derek King is.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Pat White is a perfect example.
Right.
He kind of reminds me of Shane Buechele, Texas.
He does on his delivery.
Yes.
I mean, King's got a good delivery. Don't get me wrong. King does have a good delivery. But I know a lot of people are going to keep knocking him on the sides and everything. But, man, I mean, if he ever gets loose, it's real beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle, I'm going to let you go, man. But thank you so much for calling in. I greatly appreciate it.
All right, man, Paul. You have a good night.
You too, Kyle. Thank you so much for calling in, man. Peace.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What are your thoughts on Derek King? I want to hear what you guys have to say. His receivers did not help him out at all today. At all. They did not help him out. D. Wiggins dropped a screen pass, hit him right in the chest. We talked about that deep pass as well. Lazy. Keyshawn Smith, that was pass interference. I know a lot of people at first were like, Keyshawn, you got to come down with that catch. That was PI. Cornerback hit his arms before the pass got there. ACC refs, once again, miss another call. ACC and Miami just does in football just does not get along. Does not. It has not been a great relationship. Keep it simple. 919-647-4716. Thank you to everyone joining me tonight, 11:15 p.m. If you're checking out the UNC Florida State score, I think Florida State is still holding the lead. They're up by 10 points in Tallahassee. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And I think UNC just scored a touchdown. UNC just scored a touchdown, 31-27, pending an extra point. It will be 31-28. I cannot stress enough how big of a game it is for Florida State to win this football game. UNC has such an easy schedule. They can run the table. They can beat Notre Dame, and then they can, by default, get into the ACC title game even with a loss to Miami. I don't want UNC getting near a top 5 position going against Miami because they still might get in by default with that one loss. You don't want tiebreakers at hand. You do not want to leave it up to an ACC tiebreaker. They will go straight to the revenue. They will think Notre Dame. They'll think Clemson. They will not think about Miami. I'll tell you that if it comes down to a tiebreaker. I'll tell you that. You do not want it to go to a tiebreaker. Alabama, yes, they are pulling away as well. 919-647-4716. Let's talk about the game. Want to hear your thoughts moving forward. Where do we stand? We got UVA next week. Did they win their football game today? Did they play? I'm not sure. I know they had this before. They had a southpaw quarterback. I forgot his name against Clemson. It looked pretty good. I don't know if he got injured. The following week, they lost to NC State by 17 points. And you're right. Notre Dame will choke a game. They've looked awful against Louisville. They held Louisville to 7 points. They only put up 12. Miami put up 47 points on Louisville. Louisville's a good offensive team. They're a good offensive team. Mikael Cunningham is a fast quarterback. Very good dual threat quarterback. I like him. He's a playmaker. But still, Notre Dame, you're right. They will drop a game moving forward. And I think UNC could beat them as well. The ACC, to me, is just chaotic. Any team can beat anyone in any given day. It's just a strange conference. Upperclassmen need to be benched. Yes, we went over that. Bradley Jennings making stupid penalties. We're getting the same Zach McLeod every single day. I was very impressed with Corey Couch this game. I thought he did a tremendous job. 919-647-4716. Call in. Let's talk about the game. Got 54 people in the live chat. Guys, don't be scared to call. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk some college football. Where do you think we stand moving forward after this Pitt game? A lot of people are mad. That's an ugly loss. Once again, guys, I understand it was an ugly loss. We won the game. We got to take the wins. We got to take the wins at Miami moving forward. Every game counts for Miami, for Manny Diaz's coaching career, literally. I think Pitt, they're not a bad football team. They could have been undefeated going into this game. Kenny Pickett, he didn't play tonight. I felt like their backup quarterback, Joey, I can't think of his last name right now. I think he's from Southern California, Mission Viejo, California, they stated. I thought he settled down the second half. I thought he settled down, got comfortable, let it fly a little bit, made some good passes. His receivers did not help him out at all. There were a lot of open receivers out in coverage, a lot. I have not heard any word on Don Chaney and his shoulder injury. The announcers did say he was nursing his shoulder. I did hear that. I specifically heard his shoulder while he was on the sidelines. I think Nesta did come back. He did return to play, and I know a lot of people were curious if Nesta. It was a little bit awkward the way he fell his leg, but I think he was playing after, seemed fine, ready to go. So, hey, 919-647-4716, call in. UVA will not be an easy task. Yeah, no, I agree. At least we're playing at home, I believe, against UVA. Look, every game moving forward is not going to be an easy task. We need to treat it like our Super Bowl moving forward. We cannot take any team lightly. We can't. We can't at all. One thing that needs to be fixed is penalties. I'm going to look it up right now how many penalties we gave up this game. But it's really, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We're keeping drives alive. We're just hurting ourselves. We're hurting ourselves with these stupid penalties. And it's every game. This personal foul, getting to the quarterback. It's not impressing anyone. It's not impressing NFL scouts. You're just hurting yourself, making yourself look bad. That was a stupid, stupid penalty by Bradley Jennings. Third down conversions, guys. We were 4 out of 13. That's another issue we had against Clemson. You cannot keep drives alive. There's no point of going up tempo in this so-called, whatever you want to call it, air raid offense, power spread. Going 4 out of 13 in third down efficiency, you're consistently going 3 in and outs. You're not going to have success in any football game. Just going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. every single time. You're not going to have success. You're not going to have a successful offense. You need to create a rhythm offensively. Miami has failed to do that a lot throughout today's game. So we need to fix that. Looking at penalties, we had 5 penalties for 55 yards. It is an improvement from last week's game. Pittsburgh had 10 penalties. But still, giving up 55 yards, that's not good. That's not good at all. And there were a couple really stupid penalties. Could have been 3 penalties. I'll live with 3 any day. But the stupid penalties that you add on to that, not good. Not good at all moving forward. Time of possession, Pitt had 30 minutes. Miami had 27, which is fine. Pretty even. But we had 222 passing yards. Total yards, 331. Roughly around, how many rushing yards? Roughly, we had overall 109 rushing yards. Derek King, once again, was our leading rusher. Any recruiting news? Brendan Jennings' brother, I don't know if he announced it yet. He was supposed to make a commitment yesterday to the University of Michigan. That was the projection to 247 Sports. If he does go to commit to Michigan, if it hasn't been official yet, look out for Jaden Hood. He is an inside linebacker as well, committed to Michigan, same position Brandon Jennings plays, the brother of Bradley Jennings. He should look out for Jaden Hood. Miami, right now, they were probably in 3rd place. I interviewed him on my show. Minnesota is a team to look out for. It'll probably be a Minnesota-Miami battle, and then Michigan as well. But look out for maybe a possibly decommitment. We got to see. Jake Garcia, supposedly his father is on board, really wants to play. Really likes Miami a lot. He's back in Southern California. Plus, University of Southern California, they offered a class of 2021 quarterback. Another quarterback they offered. They want to bring onto the class. USC 247 Sports stated, Jake Garcia might be exiting the class to Miami. Welcome to the Scoop. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Paul. My name is Casey, long-time watcher, first-time caller.
Hey, Casey. How you doing, man? Thank you so much for calling in. I greatly appreciate it.
I'm doing great. Just want to let you know I love the show, all the content you put out, and I really appreciate all the hard work you put into it.
Thank you, man. I greatly appreciate it. It is a grind, but just hearing callers like yourselves, people who subscribe to the channel, man, it means the world to me that you love my channel, so I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, about the game today, I just feel like, it almost feels like Derek King versus the entire defense by himself.
Yes.
He has no help out there.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like we need to get him some more high percentage throws, get him going, get his confidence going. And then when you get that going, that's when, he's in the zone. He can let her rip down the field and be more confident to make those big plays.
Right.
And I feel like we're not doing that enough.
Yeah, why do we keep throwing deep passes? Why not just focus on the middle of the field and get more crossing routes? I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either because our receivers, even on the deep passes, our receivers aren't fighting for the ball. And if they get their hands on their ball, 90% of the time they're dropping it.
Right, exactly.
I watched these big games like Alabama and Georgia, and these guys make incredible catches. I'm just like, we don't have anybody on our team that would even come close to making great catches like that. At least not right now.
Exactly. We don't.
I feel like they're capable of making those catches. We definitely have the talent. They're just not making it happen, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, no. That's why people are pushing for an underclassman, for a Michael Reddy, Keyshawn Smith, Xavier Restrepo to come in, because it's pretty evident. The upperclassmen, the D. Wiggins, he just doesn't want it, man. He really doesn't want it. I've seen too many times we've thrown him targets. He dropped a screen pass that hit him in the chest. He's not a deep ball threat, and he's our only option.
And I don't get it. Like Mark Pope, when he was in high school, he had the game for the national championship. They ran. I think it was his teammate was D. Wiggins. They threw it to him. It was incomplete. They went back in the huddle. Pope said, "Same play, but put me where D was. Throw it to me." They do it. They throw it to him. Pope makes a great catch to win the state championship back when he was in high school.
Right.
But you don't see anything like that since he's been here for the Hurricanes. And it's almost like he's regressed since he was in high school. Because I watched him all the time when he was in high school, and he's not making those big plays he did back then.
Right. Absolutely. And Andrew Ivins actually said he was the best 7-on-7 player he's ever seen.
Amazing.
Yeah, he was a very fast, very good football player. I don't know. If you're gonna recruit someone named Noodles, I don't want to recruit that person. I don't want someone named Noodles getting a scholarship on my football team. I just want built physical receivers, not skinny guys. I get it. He's fast. He's very fast.
Right. Well, then again, I feel like all summer and kind of spring, we've all been, raving about our strength and conditioning coach. And I'm sure he's a great strength and conditioning coach, but some players on the team, it doesn't show it. Like, especially players that have been there for a while, like Pope and Wig and Harley. It doesn't.
Right.
Especially against Clemson, they look small. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
And as far as defense goes, why wasn't Bubble Boulding starting the game? Did you notice that?
No. I couldn't catch the first drive of the game. I was actually driving back. I had to run a quick errand that was pretty urgent, so I couldn't see the first drive actually.
Yeah, they didn't have him out there to start the game, which I thought was absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, interesting.
I know he is kind of sketchy in pass coverage.
Yeah, he had pass coverage. It wasn't pretty today, and it hasn't been pretty in the past. And also, open field tackling as well. He actually missed a couple tackles against Clemson. If you look back at that game.
Yeah, I remember towards the end that I think it was one of their last touchdowns where the tight end scored. The tight end just bounced right off him for a touchdown. Yeah.
So that's something we got to fix in general is tackling.
By then, so it's like, what else do you want from the guy?
Right, exactly. By the way, guys, it is 31-28, 48 seconds left. Florida State has the lead by 3, 3rd and 9 for UNC. So if there's a stop here, we may be looking at a field goal. They may go for it, but this is a huge down coming up, and I need UNC to lose. There's 48 seconds left.
Yeah, I need UNC to lose too. Question real quick, Paul. Just hypothetical. Do you think if we played FSU next weekend, the result would be the same?
I think that would probably be a little bit closer. Miami wins by 14, I would say. They look good today. Okay. They looked really good in the first half. They looked really good.
They didn't look bad against Notre Dame either.
Yeah. So
I meant Florida State against Notre Dame. That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's Florida State. We got them, and we just they were a broken program, broken locker room. They got up for a top 5 team against UNC, and hey, maybe they'll come around. I don't know. I don't really see them as a good football team overall, but
Well, if they can beat the team, that would make say if they pull off this beat against North Carolina, that makes us even look even better. The fact that we blew them out.
Right. Exactly. 100%. And it is now 4th and 9. 4th and 9 in this game for UNC. So they can kick a field goal or they can go for it. But KC, thank you so much for calling, man. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, Paul. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. See you, man.
All right, bye.
Florida State has won. Thank you guys for letting me know. I guess I'm pretty behind on that, but appreciate it, guys. Tough loss for North Carolina, but it's hard to win a football game when you're down by 24 in the first half going into the second quarter. I still think UNC has a great offense. They can score quickly with Philip Longo and Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell's a good quarterback. A little bit more sense of urgency. He's too relaxed back in the pocket. Needs to be more of a leader, alpha dog like Trevor Lawrence. 919-647-4716. Call in. Let's talk about the game. I know someone was trying to call in while I had the other caller on. Call in the show, guys. 919-647-4716. Talk some Canes football. late night, 11:30 p.m. We got 50 people live with us, man. I love it. Talking Canes football, late night. Got some diehard fans in here, man. Florida State just upsetted UNC. We might even move up in the rankings. Love it, guys. We got UVA next week. We got a bye week. Then we got NC State. I will be making a post-game recap video tomorrow. I'm going to go try to do a live interview, a live show with Brad. Thank you for calling The Scoop. Who am I speaking with?
Juan.
Juan, what's up, man? How you doing?
All right.
So what's up, Juan? What do you think about the game?
I watched that Pitt game. I was impressed. I see a lot of problems with the offense. I see receivers that maybe on paper may look good, but they don't come back to fight for the ball because King throws a lot of short passes where the the route running. I mean, it seems like when I watch like Bama's offense, Sarkisian, what they run these integral pass routes, a lot of crossing patterns.
Right.
And you don't see that at Miami.
Right.
And it's wonder. Then you start with King, who, Miami fans. I'm very objective Miami fan because I used to like them up until about 2004, but then I just started seeing them fall apart. So I can step back and just critique them and I don't have a pom pom.
Right.
But King, the problem with the shorter quarterback, and everybody wants to go straight to Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield. These guys were, other than Baker, these guys are elite quarterbacks. And I just don't think Derek King, and if he even thinks about going pro next year, that'd be a waste.
Right.
He'll come back, but will he get any better?
Right.
Probably not.
I agree.
I think it's a lot to do with the play calling, and Miami has always had this problem, defense and offense, about coaching their players up. They get this talent in here, but these guys never reach the top floor of the talent. They're the same people they come in and when they leave. So even in a weak ACC conference, you would think Miami should dominate other than Clemson. But they should just mop the floor with your Pittsburghs and your Louisvilles and your Georgia Techs and your Dukes and all that. But it seems like when they play these games, they keep these teams around,
right,
which is kind of weird because when Clemson plays these teams, up like 75 or 77.
Yep, they take care of business.
I think Miami fans think Miami is way better than what they are, but I think the narrative on Miami is they are who they are every year.
Right.
I think they're an underachieving team that, and people could say, with these new recruits that they'll get better in a couple of years, but how long have Miami fans been saying this about Miami?
Right.
For years. And I just think that people need to come to the conclusion that Miami will never get back to the heyday of the early 2000s, late 90s. And this Miami team is who they are. They're a team that's going to get you, like I predicted last year, and, you had a Miami YouTuber laughing at me. I said 5 and 6 last year because they weren't that good. And I go back to the day when Pastor Rick got fired. They had their chance to start anew with a real coaching hire, but no. What did they do? They did the quick hire to make the fan base happy, went after Manny, should have left him to Temple. Of all the coaches they could have brought in, and I know these names haven't been doing well since they've gotten SEC, like your Lane Kiffin and your Mike Leach. But what they can do on the offensive side of the ball with Miami talent. Miami can put points up with anybody with those two coaches. But stuck with Manny, and I just don't think Manny's the answer. I know they're stuck with him, and I just think for Miami for the rest of this year and probably from years out, you're looking at probably a 7-8 victory team that probably will not get back to the Coastal, and they'll never be Clemson. As long as Clemson is in the ACC, Miami will never be Clemson. It is what it is. I mean, they don't get the same type of players. They don't coach up their players. It is what it is.
It was definitely a reality check when we played Clemson last week. I mean, they could have put up 60 on us easily. I agree.
And the fan base for the first couple weeks were saying, "Oh, Miami's ready for Clemson. They're ready. This is going to be a different game." But how could you say that after a UAB game, very overrated Louisville game, and a Florida State team who's rebuilding?
Right.
Come on, those are cupcakes. And then you had to go to Clemson. They just totally choked the bet against Clemson. Come on.
Yep.
Miami is a mid-tier ACC team, which is kind of sad when the ACC is a basketball conference.
Right.
And Miami has never won the ACC since they've been there.
Never.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
That's sad. That's sad in itself. And I just don't see the day, unless Dabo goes to Bama when Nick finally retires.
Could happen.
And the team drops off and Brett Venables leaves.
Could
Then
happen.
Miami has a chance. But until Dabo stays there and Brett Venables is there, that's not what happens. It's just not.
Well, Juan, man, I greatly appreciate it. Someone said you're a future fortune teller on the phone.
Not a fortune teller. I just call it out. When you're not that close to the program and you can watch the game very subjectively and see what they are, you see what the problems are.
Right.
You don't have to make up excuses like a lot of Miami fans do and this and that and this and that. Miami's just not that good. On paper, they have a lot of talent, supposed to be talent. But when they get on the field, they underachieve. And Brett Lashley, he can leave after 2 years because I don't know if he's trying to run the same system he did at Auburn, but that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
It's hey, we'll see I want to see the adjustments he makes. It's still we're 5 games in. We're 4-1.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. Miami will play these lesser teams in the ACC. Then the fans will think, "Oh my God, see Miami's back. Brett's making these adjustments," but really they're just playing sorrier teams that you can't really see the adjustments being made.
Gotcha.
And so when they get to the ACC, if they do, or North Carolina beats them up, and then you'll see where the adjustments at, and we'll be singing the same song and dance.
Gotcha. All right, Juan, thank you so much for calling, man. I'm going to let you go, but I greatly appreciate your call, man. Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Juan, take care. All right, guys. Do you guys agree with Juan? 919-647-4716. Call in. Let's talk some Canes football. Caller just said, Juan, got Sam Dondada stating Juan knows the future of Miami Hurricanes football. 919-647-4716. 83 people on the live show. 11:40 p.m. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love the diehards. Miami fans are so depressing. Nah, man. Tommy Bowden in Clemson was depressing. I'm sorry. That was a depressing era at Clemson. Tommy Bowden and the 1970 your last national title? Miami fans aren't depressing, okay? We're just trying to win another national title. We should have had 7, but we got 5. Technically, we have 7. I'll give it 7. Why not? UCF wins a national title every year according to their undefeated, whatever so-called record. UCF loses tonight. UNC goes down. Auburn goes down. Tennessee goes down. It's a great night to be a Miami Hurricane. We just beat the Pittsburgh Panthers. We covered the spread. I'll take it, guys. We covered the spread. Wasn't the prettiest win, but we won the football game, and that's what is key. 919-647-4716, guys. Call in. We're going to be all right. We're going to be fine, guys. All right? We will be fine, right? I hope so. We got UVA next week. It's always we got to take one game at a time. Every single team we're going to play in the ACC is going to give us a test. Win. Just win the football game. That's all that matters. Develop a winning culture at Miami. This team is getting better. Paul, are we moving up in the rankings? We're top 10 now. We're back in the top 10. We'll find out in the AP polls. That depends on the voters. I really don't care where we're ranked. Let's just win, I get the rankings. It looks good for recruiting. It's nice to have that top 10 emblem next to you to be ranked. But, hey, ultimately, let's just win. Let's focus on Virginia. Let's kick their ass. Let's punch them in the mouth. Let's cover the spread. Come on. We got any betters? Let's cover the spread. And let's move on. NC State, they lost their starting quarterback due to an ankle injury. There was a targeting call, and then he got injured in his ankle in today's game against Duke. NC State, they're not a bad football team. It was a very ugly win against Duke. There's no team in the future besides maybe Virginia Tech and then UNC. Miami should take care of business moving forward. They should run the table. That's probably going to be the best defense we see moving forward against Pittsburgh. That is the best defensive line we're going to see moving forward. The best safety, Paris Ford, we're going to see moving forward. So to put up 31 points against Pitt, it's not that bad. Not the end of the world. Do we need to work on pass coverage? Absolutely, because a quarterback like Sam Howell from UNC, he will tear us apart. Tear us apart. 107 people in the live chat. Thank you so much, guys. 919-647-4716. No team in the ACC is scared of me, but Clemson. Scares me, but Clemson. Yeah, Clemson, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they're the top dog. Who's number 2? It's going to be the fight between Notre Dame, UNC, and Miami. And right now, Notre Dame, they don't look good at all. They won 12-7. It's a baseball score against Louisville in South Bend, Indiana. In South Bend. You only scored 12 points against an awful Louisville defense. Ian Brook, whatever his name is, he is awful. He's a god-awful quarterback. Horrendous. I think he's awful. They have a good tight end. They have a very good tight end in Notre Dame. That power football doesn't fly when you play against, fast-paced teams. So, hey, it is what it is. But, yeah, UNC loses to Florida State, primetime television, guys. Big win. Huge win, man. I'm excited because UNC scared me. I thought they would be able to run the table and then sneak in by default, get into the ACC title game. That's what I was scared of. It was them just having a good season and, just having that one loss and getting in, Miami beating them. I don't like leaving things up to tiebreakers. I hate that. 112, 117 in the live chat. 47 minutes in, guys. 919-647-4716. Let's talk some Canes football, guys. Let's talk some Canes football. What are your thoughts, about this game moving forward? What things do you want to correct? Someone in our group chat that I'm a part of stated Rhett Lashley is not getting a head coaching job in the next 2 years with this play call. I agree. I mean, the play call, it wasn't good. It wasn't good today's game. Too many consecutive plays, we're throwing passes sideline to sideline. We're not looking in the middle of the field. We're not running crossing routes. That's what bothers me. I don't understand it. We can rely on quick passes. That's our game. Stop throwing 20-plus yard passes out in the boundaries. It's not working for us. Our receivers, we don't have those receivers at Miami. Will we see a young movement come in with the Keyshawn Smiths, the Michael Reddings, and the Xavier Restrepo's in the future? Will we see that? We saw that with Sam Brook and Corey Flagg in today's game. Tremendous job. Tremendous job by Corey Flagg. Yes, I agree. De'Ara King being 5'8" does not help with a big defensive line. We're going to have to roll him out for him to see the field. Paul, it seems like McLeod and Jennings were Rick guys, and they do not fit this scheme yet. Were they Rick guys or Manny Diaz guys? Think about that, Nathan. Who was the defensive coordinator that offered Zach McLeod and Bradley Jennings? Sorry, Brandon. I get confused with his brother. Bradley Jennings. That's a Manny Diaz guy. That's a Manny Diaz offer. Yes. No, I agree. Exactly. Stop throwing deep passes, especially to the boundary. That's not our game. That is not our game as an offense. Stop with the 3-and-outs as well. We need to develop a rhythm on offense, an identity. We are a home run team. We score on one big play, and that is it. That's how our offense moves. We can't create an identity like that. Receivers are too small. Santana Moss was small. Yeah, that's a good point. We don't have a deep ball threat. D. Wiggins isn't it. Keyshawn Smith is sneaky fast. I really like his speed. I know it was a pass interference on him. They didn't call. A lot of people thought he could have pulled down on it, but the cornerback did hit his arms before the ball got there. Yeah, exactly. And you're right. King is not the OC. It is Rhett Lashley calling the plays. Rhett Lashley needs to adapt to his personnel that he has. And hopefully he will. I would have liked to see more targets to Will Mallory. I believe he was targeted 2 or 3 times, and he had 2 touchdowns. Give him the ball more. He's a good player. Put him out on the boundary. He's 6'5". He ran track and field in high school. He can line up as a receiver at the Power 5 level. He is capable of doing that. He has that athletic ability. Give him a shot. We are not throwing any slants. We're predictable on offense. Yes, we're very predictable on offense, guys. That's a very good point. This is a very predictable team. We replicated numerous times inside zone reads. I would like D'Eriq King to keep the ball more. But, hey, I mean, there was one drive. We were moving into Pitt's red zone. We settled for a field goal, and we did halfback draws, inside zone reads 3 times in a row. Completely killed the drive. Pitt had an answer every time. There was nowhere to run in the second half. Literally. Nowhere to run. Yes, there is a boxing match going on. I think it's Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, I haven't been into boxing lately. I used to be a decent, knowledgeable boxing fan. Not the same lately. 9 minutes left, guys. All the way. We had 147 in the live chat. Thank you so much for joining us. 919-647-4716. I can take one last call, maybe 2. Call in, guys. Let's talk some Canes football before I head out. Thank you, everyone, for joining me, man. 11:48 p.m. talking some Canes football. We got Anthony Euro from 305 Sports. How do you feel about Miami running the ball on 3rd and deep? No. Okay, perfect. There were so many atrocious 3rd and long play calls, whether a quarterback draw, halfback draw, in this game and throughout at times during the season. 3rd and long, our play call has been atrocious. Horrendous. Thank you for calling the Scoop. Who am I speaking with? How you doing, man? How's everything?
Good.
What are your thoughts about the game, man?
I want to say first, the game was good. I watched the whole thing. Maybe on offense we could have did a little bit better, but running the ball, we ran aggressively. But last week didn't call the best plays.
Right. I agree. No, it was bad. Yeah.
And Florida State, oh my God, Florida State just won.
That's great. I'm so ecstatic Florida State beat UNC. I was the biggest Florida State fan tonight. Yeah. I needed UNC to lose.
But I really don't like Florida State at all. I do not like Florida State.
Yeah, no, I'm completely glad.
My dad is a big FSU fan.
Yeah.
My uncle played for FSU.
Nice.
League 7 season.
Okay, very cool. The house is divided.
Right, my whole family, FSU, the Hurricanes, diehard Miami Hurricanes. But yeah, last year didn't call the best players today. They were the best.
Yeah, no, the Rhett Lashley's offense, man, it's been very, very well, I don't think vanilla is the right word. It's just very predictable. The plays you're running the same plays consecutively. You're throwing these deep 20-plus yard passes out to, it's sideline to sideline passing. You're not looking to the middle of the field. That's what bothers me.
Right. Me too.
And
also, in the deep, Mark Pope and Wiggins, they can't go deep. Like Mark Pope, I know Mark Pope. I'm from Miami.
Right.
I know all of them. I know all the receivers. Yeah. Wiggins, I know them. I know them because they went to my school. But let me tell you, Mark Pope can't get open. Mark Pope, they not deep threat receivers.
Right.
They cannot get open. They cannot fly. Like all of them, we don't have the dynamic. We need a playmaking receiver, a hard everybody know us from a receiver. It's not true. With our offense, you don't have no good receiver.
Right. Yeah, there's not one wide receiver that's our go-to guy. We're kind of figuring that out. Like you said, Mark Pope, he's not a deep ball threat. He's a guy who's going to run crossing routes, slants, drags, Screen passes, which were effective when Mark Pope, when we threw it to him. They were effective.
Right, he was. But he's not. I've been waiting for Pope to break out for like years.
Yeah, I know.
Years to break out.
Yeah.
Like that's 5-star mentality. He came here as a 5-star.
Yeah. By rivals, he was a 5-star. Yep. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, So, but we'll get better. We'll get better. I'm not worried about it.
You will, but okay, Paul. I'm just calling it to say my opinion.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I appreciate your call, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. All right.
All righty, man. Take care. Peace. All right. Listen, let's get this straight. Be happy that we won the game. Be happy. It's okay to be critical. It's okay. It's okay. But be happy that we won the football game. We need to develop a winning culture at Miami. Let's develop a consecutive win streak. We tend to win games consecutively and lose games consecutively as well. So, hey, let's be happy. We won the game. It's okay to be critical. It's okay, to just evaluate your team after a win, but be happy that we beat a solid Pittsburgh team. I think that was a solid team. I really do. They shot themselves in the foot. They were very undisciplined as a football team. Kenny Pickett, if he would have started today, I think they would have put up some more points. But hey, I don't think that's a bad football team in Pittsburgh. They could have been undefeated going into the game. That's a good defensive line. They averaged 5 sacks. They had a good rushing defense. They were top 5 in the nation going into this game. They only allowed opponents to 53 yards per game averaging. So I felt like personally that was a good Pittsburgh defense. Their safety, Paris Ford, he's going to play in the NFL. And Miami put up 31 points, and we could have easily probably put up another 7 at the end. We did a quarterback kneel, play, respect to your opponent, but we could have scored 45. Ultimately, I think we could have scored 45 in that game. Hey, score 45 points, you average that a game, you go undefeated moving forward. So, hey, let's not worry. But if only Miami had receivers like Mark Duper and Mark Clayton, man. I can tell your age. I know how old you are, Lee Smith, if you're throwing up those names, man. I know. No love to Nat Moore. No love at all to Nat Moore. Throwing out some old names there, man. But, hey, 126 in the live chat. We got all the way to 141, I believe 147. Man, it's 11:54 p.m. I'm exhausted. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane, guys. Enjoy the win. Miami wins 31-19. UNC goes down. Tennessee goes down. Auburn loses. I've never been this excited over a Florida State win in my life. I'm ecstatic Florida State beat North Carolina. Miami defeats a good Pittsburgh Panthers football team, 31-19. Next week, we got UVA. We got some unfinished business. If I'm Manny Diaz, I play the video, the full game of UVA beating Miami in the Orange Bowl, 48-0. I play that game. I put it on. I'm sick and tired of losing to shitty ACC coastal opponents. Smack them in the effing mouth. Is this the new Miami or is this the old Miami? We'll find that out against UVA, against NC State after the bye week. Manny Diaz is still 0-4. We got a lot to prove this upcoming season, guys. Enjoy the victory. It's always great to be a Miami Hurricane. And let's keep kicking ass, man. Always. All about the you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And hope everyone has a great rest